first of all, ring deployment. This is getting into, trying to roll out updates with additional guardrails. We've got two very important things kind of fighting for priority here. There's the urgency of responding to vulnerabilities, especially those that have been exploited. There's a lot more 0 days than ever before. But we also, at the end of the day, need to make sure that we're not breaking the operational environment, because that costs us money as well. So we've got two costs, and we've got the need to try to accelerate remediation, but also provide guardrails to prevent it from giving us total outages. The second feature we're going to go into is called preferred server. So think of this as a set repository within segments of your environment. The Neurons platform launched originally with our peer-to-peer technology, and I've got customers running over 30,000, 40,000, 60,000 endpoints using just our peer-to-peer technology in large environments with a lot of scale, and they're not seeing any issues. Peer-to-peer can work extremely well to just make a lightweight configuration, low infrastructure, easy to roll out configuration. There's also the flip side of that. Customers or environments that have a lot more bandwidth restricted environments. They may have bottlenecks in their network that make it so that it's needing a little bit more focus and pre-staging of things to make sure that things happen predictably, and we don't saturate those bottlenecked network segments with a lot of traffic. That's where preferred server comes into play. Preferred server allows you to configure repositories in specific parts of your network and be able to make it so that you can synchronize the updates to those, and then all machines within that segment know exactly where to get their patches from. And you can mix and match those technologies. They can work side by side, and this preferred server becomes a peer number one in that segment of the network. And then in areas where there isn't a preferred server, peer-to-peer will rely on their peers or being able to directly download what they need from the net. And the third feature we're going to talk about is the surveys. So in ring deployment, we've added a new feature to integrate our sentiment survey directly into the ring deployment process. So most ring deployment technologies in the industry today are based off of the passing or failing of the patches. So if I've got a patch that rolls out and it succeeds, the promotion from a ring deployment perspective is, oh yeah, 100% success, move on, roll out to production. Well, some of you may be familiar with this issue. Last month, Microsoft pushed out an OS update that happened to break DHCP authentication or DHCP resolution in different environments. It wasn't a widespread issue. It was only some environments, and it was only the servers that had DHCP on them that needed to be controlled. So what happens when you have an issue like that? What happens in the case of Print Nightmare when that rolled out? You push the OS update out and it succeeded, but it broke printing across my entire environment because the print service interaction changed. That's where this need for the sentiment survey comes into play. The pass-fail of a patch is one part of the operational rollout, but what is going to tell us about those other issues? Many of you are relying on tickets, a spike in tickets to tell us things are going on. Some of you are being more proactive and going to email and saying, hey, I'm going to email a group of users in my pilot or early adopter and say, guys, how's the update going? Check everything, make sure it's still working, and try to get that feedback in a timely fashion. Well, we can be more proactive about that, and that's what this feature is really about. And we're going to go through a couple of different environments because I've got a couple of different configurations we're going to look at. The first one is going to be around ring deployment. So let me, we're going to come back to this one in just a minute. For right now, though, I'm going to jump back over here, and we're going to look at this environment. And specifically, we're going to look at, I'm going to take a look at some patch configurations that I've set up here to configure for ring deployment. So this is set up for ring deployment and for the use of that sentiment survey.